Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to another ESP. Let's get ready to do some reading and get smarter. Let's read the target together. I can read and spell words with the rhyme ong. So, you know by now we'll be finger spelling and using our neatest handwriting. Please make sure that your tall letters like B and D and H and L, make sure they're tall. Please make sure your basement letters like J and G go down beneath the line. We are almost to second grade, so we need to be absolutely sure that our handwriting looks nice and neat and that our letters are formed the correct way. So I'm sure you know by now, if letters are a rhyme, they make rhyming words. So for example, rhyming words have the same sounds at the end. Song rhymes with ong, long. Both of these words have an ong, says ong. That's our new sound. Song rhymes with long. Let's take a look at some more ong words. Now, ong just goes on one finger. So these words might look long. Hey, they might look long. Oh, there's our ong sound. But they're only using 2 or 3 fingers. So let's finger spell the first 2 blue words. Thumbs up. We say ong, song. Ong, long. The pink words, we have thumbs up, ong, tongs, ong, gong. So you might use tongs to pick up your salad, and a gong is something you might have seen in a movie that you hit, and it makes a bell sound, a gong sound, and it might get everyone's attention. So bottom 2 purple words, thumbs up, ong, prong, and ong, songs. Songs, obviously that S means more than one song, and a prong, they're the pointy things on the top of a fork. Look at our review words here. We have the first row with beginning with a word that is 2 syllables. So we can not only finger spell it, but we can clap it too. Let's do the first 3 words on the top row. Thumbs up. Target. If we syllable clap it, it's target. Target. 2 syllables in that word, so we divide between the 2 consonants and we get our 2 parts. Target. Target. All right, thumbs up. Ow, how. Loan. All right, next row, starting with the BL word. Here we go. Blue. Hike. Sandy. Next row. Sang. Dinner. We can clap it. Dinner. How many syllables? 2. Nice job. Here we go. Page. And our bottom row. Oh, here's our new friend. Song. Lace. Find. Look at this word find. It also has a rhyme. Can you say a word that rhymes with find? Those are great words. I'm thinking of kind. Look at this word here, lace. Can you tell me the 2 jobs that E does? He reaches over, makes the A say A and the C say S. He has 2 jobs. I hope he's getting paid well for those 2 jobs because he's a busy E. 2 jobs. There's another word that has a busy E, does 2 jobs. Do you know what word on your screen I'm talking about? Page. Can you please tell me or someone else what 2 jobs does that E have? Makes the A say A and the G say ja. Woo, busy E. All right, now let's get our boards out and practice spelling some words. Remember, I put ONG in the top because that's our new sound. It says ong. So if you need to, you can always look up in the corner and figure out how to spell your new sound ong. Make sure you have a board, a marker, a eraser, a paper, a pencil, whatever you're writing with. And of course, if I move too fast, please pause this video until you're ready. Here we go. Here's your first word. Song. Thumbs up. You say song. Let's fingerspell. Song. Song. Go ahead and write me the word song. We should start with an S and have our ONG says ong. Now, some of you might have started with a C because we've been using a lot of C's to make this sound. But remember, a C only says with E, I, Y. And take a look. This is not an E, this is not an I, and this is not a Y. And that's why I do not start this word with a C. All right, here's your next one. Long. You say it. Let's fingerspell. Long, long. The opposite of short is long. All right, you should have a nice tall L and ONG. Now check your G. Does your G go into the basement? Nice. All right, here's your next one. This is on a fork. It is a prong. Ready? Thumbs up. Prong. Prong. Go ahead and write prong. All right, P-R-O-N-G says ong. Now double check. Does your P go into the basement? Does your G go into the basement? Those are two basement letters, which means they go underneath your bottom line. All right, here's your last one. You would use this to pick up salad. Tongs. Here we go. Thumbs up. T-ong-z. Tongs. Be careful with that Z sound at the end. I know what you're thinking. You hear a Z, but if you wrote a Z, I think your brain would tell you, that doesn't look right. So make sure you double check what other letter says Z at the end of a word. All right, you should have started with a tall T. Here's my ONG says ong, and then my Z sound is an S. Take a look at that last word. It has the ending S. So can you tell me the base word? Tong. Good job. All right, so I have a story for you, and what I've done is I colored red all of the sight words. So when we read this, those red words should not be sounded out. Those are words that at this point in first grade we should know. Now, my hope is that we know a lot of the other words too. But I wanted to show you how many sight words or words that you should just have in your brain are part of a story. There's an awful lot of them. So if these red words are hard for you, you really, really need to spend some time at home practicing reading your sight words because that will make every story you read much easier. So what I'll do when I read this is I'll sound out some of the black words and then I'll go back and read the story without sounding anything out. Your job in a few minutes is going to be to read this story on your Schoology quiz. So we'll preview it together, which means we'll see it first together. Then your job will be to read it on your own or to a grown-up. All right, so let's begin. P-at-e, patty, and Sandy. Sandy took a long bike ride. All right, let me read it again. Patty and Sandy took a long bike ride. Oh, that sounds fun. The dew was still wet on the grass. The dew was still wet on the grass. You can see this picture here. We have some blades of grass. Dew is just the little drops of water that you will find on the grass a lot of times in the morning. They had a sack lunch to eat at the end of the trip. So they brought a sack or a bag lunch with them. So they're riding their bike, a nice long bike trip. They see some dew on the grass, so maybe it's early morning, and they are carrying with them a sack lunch, which just means a bag of lunch. They wanted to find a nice place to eat. They wanted to find a nice place to eat. They sang songs as they rode side by side on the path by the pine trees. So they're singing some songs with their lunches maybe in their backpack. They're riding next to each other. That's what side by side means. And they're seeing some of these beautiful pine trees. They rested in the garden of the park and then went on. So I imagine a garden looking like this picture here. So they were riding, they took a nice break, they took a rest in a beautiful garden, and then they kept on riding. So this whole story is about Patty and Sandy's bike trip. Now it's going to be your turn. You're going to read some ONG says ong words. You will practice filling in and completing some sentences. And then, of course, you will read this story again and answer some questions. Nice job today. I'll see you at our next ESP lesson.